our debtors that are sort of aged, and we've really, especially in the rates area, we've actually started to engage Baycorp to sort of start tracking some of these down, because they've got, they can put more levers than we can. So in September, we sent 60 of our oldest rates debts to Baycorp, which was 388k in value, and within less than 2 weeks, we've already collected 100k. So it's really positive. They've been able to track people down there. I mean, one person basically said that they thought we'd catch up with them. So they paid. Wow. Yeah, they just paid. So that's really positive. So we'll continue to sort of go down that track, and we're also engaging with legal to work on some more of our trickier, larger debts, and we're starting to sort of meet more regularly and come up with a sort of plan as to how we might get those debtors to the table. And I feel we're starting to move in the right direction in that space. So.
Thank you. That's very helpful. If I have questions for Hayden or
just for change, I've got a question. Is that, and I don't know, we may have covered this before, but at what point do you get to the point of putting a thingy on the title? Is it
so if they've got like a mortgage against the title to be able to go down there, these 60 have got nothing. They've got no mortgage, so there's no go down that sort of route. It's really.
But you can't put a thing on there saying, so if they then sold the property, there's a debt on it.
So we can probably help with that. So what we do have, we have the Rating Act, which can help us with that, and that is which is what we're pursuing through legal with some of those bigger ones, and that is that we can actually force a rating sale.
So actually force the sale, not wait until the place is sold. Okay, right.
So some of these amounts are probably not, they're 5k, they're not really in that sort of 10k in that way. So whereas Baycorp, they have a big database and they may have dealt with this individual on another matter, and so they can get their contact details and engage with them.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, so the Baycorp is kind of like our next step, from council pursuing the debt, and then after that, if we don't have any luck with that, then we will head down the legal path with looking at rating sale.
I think we have to say selling the debt is discounted value and walking away from it.
So selling it to another party and
there's a process of putting on a risk, but we could say, well, I've got $300,000, I'm going to sell it for $50,000. I buy it, I'll go sell it, and if I get more than $50,000, it goes in my pocket, and if I don't, I lose. But that's a process to use.
But if that stage.
Yes.
Of course, the older it is, the bigger it is.
And the issue that we do have with rates is the other part of the Rating Act is if we don't pursue that debt and we don't get it within 6 years, well, it becomes statute barred, so it basically falls off, and then we have no ability to collect it after that. So we have a time period where we can collect.
Yes.
So just clarify before I ask John this question, you go to Baycorp at what point in the debt cycle?
Where we've basically sent out our letters, which I think there's 3, phone them, try to make contact with them, and then basically when we can no longer contact them, like when we're not hearing back from them and we've tried every avenue we can, then we send it to Baycorp.
That would probably presumably mean any debt that's a year old.
Yeah. I think it's a case of actively, like the older it gets, the harder it is.
John, you've got a question?
Just more for my information, Bruce. So, a couple of $100,000 worth of debt, which is awesome, top mark. So, what was the cost of recovering the $100,000?
They take
It's a pretty
It's a
small
small
percentage of
percentage
each
of
debt.
It's
A percentage of.
yes, I realise it would be,
It's about 20%, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
20%.
I don't even know if it's that
more,
high.
I thought it's about 10%.
Yeah, I think it's about. 10.
okay, so
We've
still good value for money.
negotiated some pretty good rates with Bayport.
Yeah, good value for money, good idea.
It would be helpful in future. So good report, we're glad that that's happening. I think that's the, what I would take from the meeting. And I just wonder if, as we get to the next reporting, you think about actually indicators, what is under Bayport, or what is the various actions? What amount of debt are we have payment arrangements with? You know, what debt have we got title against, or put on title of the mortgage question? What are we doing in terms of rating sales? And then the Bayport thing. Yeah, it would be just useful to know. Because it's like picky and say, well, 300,000, that's cool, and you got 100 already, but actually 3 years out to hold, and we're at 3 million. You know, so it's a good start, but actually it's about space.
Can I just point you to page 287 of the report? It does give you that some of that information.
Yes, it does, I agree.
Yeah.
It would be good, yeah.
The template would be useful, that the nature of discussion here is we talk about what is the nature of the action and the follow-up. And I think that's something that the committee is interested in, is actually that sort of, that longitudinal sense of actually we are following up, we have various actions got to, and in fact we've got the majority of the data under control. Right, is anybody prepared to move to second report, please? Thank you, John, seconded Tony. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Right, can we please move to the interest rate strategy? And Donna, I suspect that's you, because you had it, sorry.
It's me, yep.
Right, mate, we'll make you work at it.
So, I think at a recent council workshop, we proposed the idea of restructuring our interest rate swap portfolio, because historically we've locked into some pretty, well, you look at them today and they're quite, high rates with what's in interest rates. So we've taken, we've worked with PwC to come up with a way of sort of coming up with a restructuring process for those swaps. And PwC have worked out that it can save us 217k annually. Of which it would cost about 10k to sort of those swaps. So, it's basically what we're asking is for this to be received and endorsed as a staff recommendation to council to move forward with this interest rate strategy.
Right, thank you for that, Hayden. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, this has already been workshopped, so I'd like to move the recommendation.
Right.
And I'll second it.
Thank you. Can I just ask my clarity? And what was the outcome of that workshop?
It's the way to go forward.
We go, everything that we don't see, come back and make the same,
It's over
and it'll just, interest through the swap.
200,000. So
Yeah, it's no brainer.
I'm intrigued that the cost is only 10,000 to break. That's all.
So
I presume in management pursuing this that actually we do see what is the final numbers. Otherwise, everybody will be doing this.
That's right. Well,
Nobody else has. I'm sorry, I didn't say nobody else has in terms of my work elsewhere in the country. No other council has yet to break their existing swaps, which look onerous and are onerous relative to current rates.
it was over 240,000 years ago to get out.
Yeah.
And so the 10,000 I thought was cheap too.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to have the motion and let's move on. But I would just like to reflect, it would be good to know. Obviously, we won't press the go button on this until we can see those final. You've got to approach the banks, correct?
we do.
To find out what their break rate is.
The 10,000 is a PwC estimate based on what they know and
Yes.
what they've experienced. I questioned back to them too that I thought that was very low.
Yeah.
But they seem to stand by that. So yeah, until we go to the banks, we won't know exactly. But just to be clear, we're not breaking them. We're doing a blend and extend, so that's slightly different. So maybe the costs are cheaper for doing that.
Yes. Okay. Right. Just a good point. I'm not quite certain what a blend and extend means.
I knew I shouldn't have said that.
That's a cooking test.
Well, actually, to be honest, at 2 o'clock I've got to be on a video with Brenda Hanson. I might ask him, I'll tell him this one was this one in it. So yeah, okay.
It is a bit complicated, but basically in short terms what it is that you take the rate that you have and then you push it out. So you're actually pushing the swap out for a further period of time, thereby reducing your interest up front.
Yeah,
so you're actually probably paying
the advantage is that you're extending out the stream of income they have got.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be simple. If 10 grand follows, that's fine. I mean, obviously, if it looks like it's too good to be true, you'll come back and tell us.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Let's get ours out of the way if we suggest someone else go down the same track.
I might be resigning really quickly. Okay, can I thank you for that advice, your workshop. This is really, in some sense, a follow-up report to that. It looks promising, and that essentially we are actually agreed Hayden receiving, but actually endorsing that we pursue this with appropriate prudence. Okay, can I then put the motion, I think by Murray, seconded by Tony. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? It's carried. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks, Hayden. Can you do here still for?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you might have been. Thank you, mate. Go for it.
Yeah, and the final one is the development contribution review for 879D Hickory Settlement Road, Panoi. So I think we discussed this at the last Audit and Risk Committee, and we've given direction to go away and look at whether or not the wastewater and water infrastructure that were put in place was actually going to reduce councils' capital burden. And we went back and we checked into it, and it wasn't, because it's not part of our sort of capital works that are planned. So yeah, we basically are recommending that review be receive the review, and we decline the request for a special consideration on wastewater, water and wastewater revenues payable under section 3.01 of the policy, considering that the infrastructure provided by the applicant does not prevent the council from having to undertake capital expenditure identified in the calculation of development contribution policy, and the applicant is gaining the benefits of council infrastructure while increasing demand on said infrastructure.
Right, thank you very much for that. I have no questions then to the committee about essentially the recommendation, which is that we decline take this further, and that we are in effect wanting to enforce the DC as the impact of this. Can I have?
I'll move that.
You want to move that? Do I have a second? Thank you, Martin. Do we have any questions, both the motion, but actually any clarity that's there on the report? So I get it correct, Hayden, just for my benefit. We are asserting that there is a liability for DCs.
Yep.
DC isn't about, I mean, it's about actually a contribution or against that we're saying, and we would be asserting to the owner or developer that actually the DC policy still applies in this situation. They have, and we need to acknowledge, I take it that there will be an amount of credit for assets they hand over. Is that correct?
No, what we're saying here is that we won't be giving them credit towards DCs. We're saying that the DCs are payable.
Right, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was asking, is there in existence any credits they can claim for assets provided? No. Right, yeah. Cool. Well, I've got a motion. I'll test it with the meeting. All those in favour? I think I've got a motion, John.
Yeah,
I'll move it. And seconded. Tony did. Tony seconded.
Yep.
All those in favour, please say. Martin, sorry. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Brilliant. Oh, sometimes good to check because I think it's important actually, to be honest, making a deal of this. I guess people very much. There's actually, I mean, as you know, there could be a bit of noise in the community, actually, being intransigent or unkind or something, so it's good we've got the reason.
Oh, absolutely, I report from last year with the risk and,
Right, that's good. Well, that was actually the end of my agenda, but I realised I didn't deal with any members' reports, so I don't presume there are any good ones, or am I being presumptuous? Anybody raise any matter as a report before we Thank you.
happy.
I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you for your time.